When I came to London, I didn't have a lot of money, and I wanted to be in a band. That's why I came to London. So I thought I need to earn money to pay my rent.
Of course.
So I thought, well, the best thing is work in the music business.
Yeah.
So the first job I landed was with David Bowie's manager, Tony DeFries.
Yeah.
So I started off as assistant secretary and then PA, and ended up setting up Main Man.
Yeah.
Dealt with Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, all sorts of people. And then I was headhunted by Billy Gaff, Rod Stewart's management. I was still in the band, remember?
Wow.
In fact, I was dancing as well. I was one of the go-go
was
dancing.
the first pole
I was the
dancer.
first pole dancer that didn't take their clothes off.
Wow.
I had a residency at Chelsea Drugstore, and they had a pole. And I didn't have a lot on, but I had clothes.
Yeah.
But I
Keep
was
going.
a good dancer. So I was working in the business during the day. I was in a band.
Yeah.
And any spare time I was dancing, keeping fit and making money. So, but then I went on to, Tony DeFries from Bowie days headhunted me, and I helped set up Good Earth. And through that I became a promoter, and I promoted James Brown, Jerry Lee Lewis. I'd met the man I was going to marry prior to that, and I'd sort of put my career on hold.
And was he the real one, or was he a business part of a
Him?
business deal? The one
My
you were
ex-
marry?
Oh, he...
Because you know, you never know the way these things are
No,
very
he-
convoluted.
He was he real or whatever?
Did you fall in love with him?
Well, I suppose I must have.
No, you must not have.
Well, I must have. I never wanted to get married, and I married.
You might have thought it was a good idea that this is a good career move. I married this guy.
No. It was a good career move that he married me. You got to get it right here.
Sorry.
No, I was the business acumen. I knew the business.
Yeah.
He'd been a singer, but he was someone. There's singers and there's people who sing. He was someone who sang.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I'm a singer.
Yes,
there's
you
a big
are.
difference.
Oh, there is.
And I met him when I was working for Billy Gaff, Rod Stewart's management, and he had been a singer in a band called Love Affair. He'd taken over from the original singer. So he'd been doing that, but he preferred to get the money at the end of the evening. So he wanted to get into the music business, and I taught him the ropes.
Oh, okay.
And I later was headhunted, and I went on to do things, and I brought him in.
Yes. We've got you.
Ah!
I've said sorry.
No, not you. Him.
Oh, him.
You don't know. He knows better.
Yeah, I don't think.
I keep forgetting.
And,
Ignorance is bliss, dear boys and girls.
And I had a fair following.
Yeah.
And I'd worked above the marquee. We had offices above the marquee faces, and I was often not playing in the marquee. So I'd be working in the office during the day, and I'd be downstairs in a band. So when I met him, I was playing in the marquee, working for Billy Gaff. But then I was headhunted, and I went on to do something else, and I brought him in.
Yeah.
And he was very ambitious, and I just wanted to do my music. But because I must have loved him, I put my career on hold to create his ambition, which I did very successfully.
And he remained a person who sang, not a singer.
He didn't sing much after that. He never did.
So
anyway, so he went on, and basically I got the chance to get back into doing why I'd come to London. And I got into it. Didn't tell him. He heard the buzz, and we were managing at the time as well. Darts, Chaz and Dave. And he heard this buzz, and there was a buzz what I was doing at the time prior to me working with Tom, and he said, well, why get a manager? We're both managers. I'll manage you. And that was the worst move I ever made in my life. Anyway, that's a long story.
Yeah. It's been a long career. What drew it to stop and now to start again?
No, I didn't. I've never stopped.
You're still working?
No. I had a couple of hits, and then my marriage sort of went a bit haywire. I can't go into too many details, but it wasn't ideal.
No.
And unfortunately, I came out sort of not so well off after that. It wasn't about money. It was basically...
Yeah, it was about money. He ripped you off.
No, but I was never in the business for money. I love music. No, but he did rip me off. Yes, he did. But I could have handled that. But he contractually screwed me for a while. It was like he punished me for leaving him, unfortunately. And 2 weeks in the business is long enough. No, 2 months. So I couldn't sign to anybody else because I was still contracted, because we had our own label. We had an independent label. There was only 2 independent labels at the time, us and Stiff. We're very successful. And I couldn't sign, so I was working with a guy, Greg Decker, who had been playing with Dave Gilmour, and he was Canadian.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to Canada. So I actually went to Canada for a couple of years and just wrote. I've never stopped writing or performing. And then I was about to get back into it, and unfortunately I got breast cancer.
Oh, you poor woman.
So I went through that, and after that I was just more determined than anything. I had like 4 or 5 albums worth of
It's the
stuff
Scots
I'd written.
woman in you.
Yeah, never
You're
say
determined.
die.